Hi there. So let's look at Avalanche Wyckoff stage where we are at, and then what are the key price levels as well as what's the price and volume actions are telling us. So let's dive into the chart. We're looking at the weekly chart of AVAX, and currently, like after the automatic rally during the accumulation cycle of the Wyckoff method, the price is returning to retest the lower boundary or lower area. So during the 2024 accumulation cycle, there was just a little bit of test, maybe 1 to 2 below the selling climax. So currently we're still early. The selling climax was at around late March. Currently we are not testing that level yet, so it's approaching but not there yet. So that's around mid $15. And then if we look at the 2022-23 accumulation cycle, the price went as low as $8, 70 cents roughly. There's still a possibility for the price to go that low depending on how bad whatever happening around the world can get, right? All the wars and economic uncertainty due to all the tariffs and trade talks, whatever else that hasn't happened yet, may it be natural disasters or the earthquakes that are happening around the world. If you look at the predictions by geologists, just a lot of clouds covering everything. So back to the chart. That's the Wyckoff stage that we are at, and we expect more tests coming. Obviously, if you look at this, you can see some like going down and then up to get to a point where we see maybe a sign of strength, and then come back down to retest again, and then another distribution cycle. Hopefully it's going to be something shorter, similar to 2024, that took only around, let's say, take this yellow candle to this point, that was only 154 days, 5 months roughly. If it's like 2022, that's much worse. That took over here 546 days, so it's over 3 times compared to 2024. Let's hope that doesn't happen. And then if we go to the daily chart, very similar story as Chainlink, as I just talked about a few minutes ago. You can check out that session. A little bit of breakout earlier on during like Tuesday, exactly a week ago, but then immediately on Thursday returned to this downward playground zone, this blue box. So if you're new to this, these playground zones basically tells us the boundaries, and then like how this goes to it relates to the trading activities. So we can see like a top boundary and a lower boundary setup, and then subsequently there would be multiple occasions. It can be long or short depending on what news comes out for people to have a reason to push the price outside of this playground zone. So we see another touching over here, another one. If I change it to a line chart, it may be more obvious, and then it comes down to somewhere close to the lower edge, and then it comes here again. So those could be the entry points of a lot of traders. That's how they like make a profit, even if seemingly there isn't much volatility compared to these areas. So a lot of people normally would think, oh, they make a lot of money like when it shoot up really crazy, or when it shoots down really crazy. That's probably not most of the case. Most of the case, or most of the money were made probably within these frequent, less wild volatility. So back to here, expect this to continue. As I said, after the automatic rally, it's normal that we are seeking for a low point, maybe similar or even lower than the selling climax. So that's totally normal. Obviously, if the environment suddenly changes and things get better, there will be a test or like a sign of strength, like we see over here. The SOS is not a like a calling for help signal. It's not that, a sign of strength. So this basically signals there seems to be sufficient demand already happening. However, it's still not strong enough to get to a point where we see these massive boosts. That's why we see subsequent tests to see how strong these people are. Like in crypto terms, it's like, are they diamond hands, or are they just buying the dip and then you can basically shake them or like scare them away? So that's what happens over there. So again, look at this trend, like more or simpler than Chainlink that I mentioned just now. There aren't many support lines as busy as that one, because if we look at here, we may be close to one. So if I draw a line over here, you see these frequent trading activities and the tips of the candles, right? Either head or tail. So this around $16.80 or $70 roughly. You know, it's never just like a solid number. It's a range. So you see these candles, it can be going very low but then close up a little bit higher. So expect a range of this, but generally it's around high $16 to around $17. That's probably the support we are looking at, the first support. Obviously it can go lower, like I said, but the absolute low level would be around $10, because if we see it can go as low as $8.60 as well. Remember this 2023 accumulation cycle. So however, like, it's basically less. Keep an eye on this $16.80 or like $17. We're still $1.60 away from the support line. If it's going to test over here, what's the line? I would rather go to the daily chart, because there are two levels over here. One is this. This is not an absolute price level. This is more changing top along with the timeline, so it's pretty obvious, right? So let's change back to the chart. Sorry, it's forgot to change it back to this chart view. But then what I'm saying is this entire line is a resistance line. So when the time goes on, the price continue to stay within the box. This ceiling is getting lower and lower and lower until a point, if I extend this box further, until a point where we see this triangle over here. That's where a likely breakout scenario would happen. Obviously, at the level around here, that's the first triangle. I'll keep the line over here. So by end of this month, early next month, we'll probably see like a force trying to push the price outside of this light blue box. If it isn't successful, like over here, the price got pushed back to the box, then the next support level would be the bottom of the white line at around $10. That's how things are going to evolve likely. Of course, the top is at around 27. I mean the top resistance line at the moment. But then that's only the second resistance. The first is actually over here, around $23. You see multiple occasions it's already showing this. So I haven't drawn a box within this white box because it's already within the long-term playground zone, so I don't want to make the chart too busy and overcomplicate things. Basically, if you look at my other videos, you see some short-term playground zones. Here we are actually in one. So if we look at this, let me enlarge it so it's easier for everybody to see. Look at this area. You see a box, right? It's actually a box we are in since February. So it's AVAX has been trading pretty much within this box. The line that I've drawn, this particular line, it's normally called a center line. It doesn't have to be exactly half of the box, but there is a line over there, and AVAX very seldomly trade above that line. It's only for short, maybe not even a month, or around a month roughly, that it's been traded above this line. If I were to extend this a little bit further over here. So I'll keep these two lines and we'll continue to observe what happens in my weekly sessions. That's for AVAX for now, and